Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of the podcast. I'm David.
Yeah, we're reviewing a movie that's still in theaters, but it probably won't be by the time this hits YouTube. So.
Scooby-Doo's still in theaters?
This is not that Scooby-Doo episode.
Oh, frick! I took the wrong notes!
It's just like, yes, what did you think about Dracula? Scrappy-Doo was great.
Well, Luke, we're here in the studio to talk about
that's what this is.
a movie we just saw. Was that last night? No, that was 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago.
2 nights ago. Opening night, which I haven't been to a movie on opening night in a great many years because I'm on the wrong side of 30.
You wouldn't know that it was opening night because there was hardly anyone there. This movie right now is a box office bomb.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Why did you say that? Now I'm depressed.
Yeah. I think it's made like $6 million off a budget of $45 million. Yeah, that's what happens.
I hate people so much.
Well,
Why? Why don't people go see good movies? Why are they spending money to go see Barbie 18 times in a row in the theaters?
Here is where they screwed up, though. It's a Dracula movie, right?
Yeah.
By the way, we're talking about the Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Oh,
We
yeah.
haven't said that yet.
The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
But it's a
Releasing in August for some reason.
That's what I was just about to say. It is a Dracula movie, and they were just like, well, put it out in early August. And then they're
Why?
like, why did it not make money opening weekend?
I really don't understand. They did the same thing with Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion's not a bad movie. Me and Leah really enjoyed the new Haunted Mansion movie. And it bombed too.
Well, Renfield came out in April.
Yeah, but Renfield sucked.
By the way, yeah, it did suck.
No, Renfield sucked. Get it, Dracula. It's okay. We'll talk about it later. Anyway,
Renfield doesn't suck though. Dracula sucks.
no, he does. He sucks the bug juices out of the
He
bug.
just eats the bugs. Anyways, it doesn't get any better though. This movie was delayed. It was originally scheduled to come out in January, which would have been even worse. I don't understand who sets these. Well, I know what it is. It's when a studio doesn't have confidence in a film, they push it to dead parts of the year. Usually, that would be late winter.
Well, they don't have confidence in the
late
freaking
summer,
film
so.
because it's a freaking another Universal monster film, but they already, screwed the pooch on so many of their Universal Monster remakes that they have no faith when they have a good one anymore. And it shows because, honestly, how many terrible Dracula movies and terrible Frankenstein movies have come out in the last, 5 years? 8 million of them.
I don't know.
Anyway, literally 8 million. But if they would take their time, and this is a low budget movie, is what I heard. So anyway,
45 mil.
45, yeah, that's a low budget.
Yeah.
And take your time, make a movie like this, and stop all the crap. Get rid of all the crap. Stop wasting your time on crap. Look, I enjoyed Dracula Untold, but it was crap.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you should check. It's worth checking out at least once. It's kind of a fun watch, but this movie is so much better. This movie is leagues above Dracula Untold and any of the crap that's come out.
Yeah.
Just take your time, stop releasing crap, and release a good movie like this one, or like Lee Winnell's Invisible Man, and you will make money and release it at a good time of year. People don't want to see a Dracula movie in August. Nobody's thinking about Dracula in August. So stupid.
Hey, at least it's still better than getting pushed from January, or than being released in January like they wanted to, because at least Spirit Halloween is open in August right now. So
yeah, that's never happened ever. But anyway,
you at least have that going for you. Yeah, I mean, I'll jump into the negatives first. I don't have that many negatives. But it's the same thing that a lot of critics are complaining about. It does feel a little long. Around the halfway point, it does drag a little bit.
You definitely feel the length for sure. There's a really great hour and a half long movie in here somewhere.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Once again, it's the same thing about the story structure. Modern films, a lot of times they try to push the climax, which is in older stories was more towards the middle. Mm-hmm. They want to push it towards the end because they want to have a quick build up to something, and it just doesn't work for modern stories that much. I still enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed this a lot, but they could have cut out 20 minutes of the middle filler, and it would have been much better. So, But yeah, other than that, there was another thing that I'm hearing complaints about is the ending. The ending is a little odd. Like, they kind of are ending on a semi-cliffhanger, almost like they want there to be something more to this.
See, I've heard this complaint before, but I don't understand it because it's based off a book.
Yeah.
It's based off of one chapter in the book. Mm-hmm. So he has to... I mean, I don't know if this is much of a spoiler. People know the story of Dracula, but, like, he has to be alive in the end.
He does.
So...
He does, but it's just the idea of, like...
We don't have to, like, get into major spoilers in this.
I mean, like, the note I've got is I wouldn't be opposed if they wanted to do, like, some kind of miniseries in this universe. That would be kind of cool.
I mean, it's not going to happen because general audiences are too busy seeing Barbie to freaking give a crap about
that is true.
An actual good movie.
But yeah, that's honestly those were my two biggest cons. Other than that, I had a good time watching it.
Yeah, it goes to places. It shocked me with some of the dark places that it goes. You know, there is a genuinely disturbing part in this movie. But it's not a bad thing. I'm actually glad it had the guts to, like, go there, because a lot of these horror movies, like, they follow the same formula. There's 2 rules you don't break. You know, I could say them now, but it'd be kind of a spoiler. Mm-hmm. But they break both of those rules basically right away. Mm-hmm. And yeah, and I love the creature design. My biggest fear with this movie was that, like I said, my biggest fear with this movie is that they were going to take Dracula, who out of the Universal monsters, he has by far the most personality. He's easily the most charismatic of the monsters. Mm-hmm. Now I'm afraid they were just going to reduce him to a xenomorph, you know, like reduce him to just some ravaging monster. But they do kind of basically go that route. But if you're a Dracula fan, like I am, I think you'll be pleased with what they do. So Dracula is put in a situation where he doesn't really need to show his personality that much. Dracula is a monster disguised as a man, and he doesn't really need to wear that disguise in this situation. He's just out to feed. But he does have a couple of moments where he speaks, he says something, he smiles, and then basically in the end of the movie you get a moment with no dialogue, but it's a wonderful way to showcase, like, this is Dracula as you know him now. Like, the rest of the movie, he was kind of Dracula as you know him, but in the end, he's Dracula as you know him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, many critics were complaining about claiming that Dracula in this is a mindless creature, and maybe that made me think, oh man, he's gonna be really mindless and just this monster. But yeah, he was more Dracula than I thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe my expectations were really low after listening to critic complaints, but he was more. Yeah, it was more Dracula than you would expect it to be. The design I thought was really cool. I like how the creature's design changes throughout the movie.
Yeah, he changes as the movie goes on. I love that.
Which was very cool.
Really cool.
And one thing I was a big fan of is that they do take some of their time to reveal Dracula, and in the times where they haven't fully revealed him, they do rely a little more heavily on jump scares and stuff like that. But then once the creature is, like, fully revealed, then it starts to feel more like a monster movie. Like, it's there. I feel like there's less jump scares as the movie goes through, and it's more of a feels more like a monster
creature feature,
right? And I really appreciate that because those movies don't exist anymore.
Yeah, that's true. We don't get those. Yeah, and the characters other than Dracula are really, really well written, and I would say my favorite was the first mate, actually. Mm-hmm. First of all, I really like that actor in everything I've seen him in. Polka Dot Man. Yeah, he's excellent in this movie. Mm-hmm. He's really good.
He's an Oppenheimer.
Is he really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, okay.
He's in a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah. But anyway, all the characters, great. Really good actors. The kid actor was kind of hit and miss, but he did a mostly good job. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, a note I've got is one of the key aspects in monster movies is the atmosphere. And I very much liked the atmosphere.
Atmosphere was wonderful.
Yeah.
The period piece style of it. There's a couple of shots in this movie that I have never seen, and I told you this when we came out of the theater, I have never seen in a seafaring movie before, which is where, and I'm sure they aren't the first to do this, but I've just never personally seen it, but it's where the characters are on the ship and the camera is above them, facing down, and they'll be walking next to the side of the ship, and you'll just see the water going by, like rushing by, and it really made me feel, every time they did that shot, it really made me feel like I was on the ship with them. Like, we're on this ship and we're moving. Like, I don't know. It was just really cool. It almost had like a 3D effect on me. Like, I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm there right now.
Yeah. No, it's got an atmosphere that, like, it almost made me feel like I was like watching The Wolfman, the original one again. Like, it kind of puts you in that place, which is very cool. So, yeah, no, I very much enjoyed watching it. I would recommend people go see it in theaters.
I'd say it's definitely...
Support good movies.
Yeah, support good movies. I'm tired of seeing good movies bomb. I'm not sick of seeing bad movies bomb, though, which has been a trend lately, and that's kind of nice. But no, I definitely would say this movie's worth a watch, and in fact, I would go a step further, and I'm going to say when it comes out on Blu-ray, I will happily buy this movie and add it into my October movies collection. It is the best Dracula movie I've seen since the original. People that like Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula from 1992, they're gonna say probably it's the best one since that movie. I don't really care for that movie that much. My opinion of Dracula is he's more of a monster than he is a man, and that movie kind of humanizes him a little too much, in my opinion. Unpopular opinion. I know you haven't seen that movie, probably.
I haven't, no.
But yeah, this movie kind of takes the route of, yes, Dracula is a monster first and a man second, which I really like, because the point of Dracula is that he has lost his humanity. His humanity is gone. He's been taken over by evil, and that's basically what it is. So, and this movie nails it on, like, really gets it good.
Yeah, I mean, what I've got is Universal Monster revamps. A lot of the time, I'm not looking for like a retelling of the same story anymore. The originals will always be superior. They were lightning in a bottle. They're a product of their time. They're all that. But like, I'm just looking to be entertained anymore. I'm looking for, like, monster movies are so rare anymore. I'm just looking to be entertained by one. I was entertained by this one. I think it does the novel justice, even though I haven't actually read that chapter. But from what I've heard, it looks like it does the novel justice. It does Dracula justice. And yeah, no, it's worth a watch.
I would say this is akin again to Lee Winnell's Invisible Man, in the sense that instead of trying to recapture that lightning in a bottle that the original Universal monster movies are, take a twist on it. Like, do a twist, take a different route with these characters, and do something like original and cool. Unfortunately, it looks like this movie is not going to make the money Invisible Man made, which is really unfortunate, because I actually like this more than the Invisible Man. In fact, I would go as far to say that so the director of this movie said he was trying to make Alien with Dracula.
Yeah.
And I would go as far to say as I actually like this movie more than Alien. I love Alien. I think Alien's a classic. Alien takes a really long time to get going, though. And as much as I felt the length in this movie, whenever I watch Alien, I feel the length in that movie even more. And I like slow burn horror movies. I'm not saying that time is wasted in Alien, but this movie, I think, utilizes that time a little better.
Yeah. So I'll say, when it comes to my rating, so my standard, the way I come up with my ratings is every movie starts at a 5 out of 10, and then I add and deduct away depending on what happens. The ending can change things quite a bit, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't do that. I've decided I'm not going to do that on first watches anymore, because, actually, I don't think I've done it on a first watch. The reason I don't do it, though, is because there's so much, like, on your second watch, that's when you start to notice, like, foreshadowing and stuff like that more clearly. So, I can give it an unofficial rating and just slap it with a flat 7, but I'll be curious to see on second watch. I'll be curious to see what I give it later on. But,
Did this movie have any really bad language in it at all. Because I was just trying to think. I was like, it's rated R, obviously,
rated R.
because of the gore. But I was like, did they put any, like, is there
I think
rated R language in this movie?
there is. I don't think it's as blatant as some R-rated movies you'll see. I'm guessing it was gore was the main.
Recall. But I will say one thing, just a final note, is I did appreciate being able to watch this movie with Leah. Leah...
His cat.
Yeah. But, Leah doesn't like nudity in movies. I don't like nudity in movies, and it was nice to see a Dracula. You don't see a Dracula movie very much anymore without nudity in it, because he's a very sexualized character. Mm-hmm. So it was nice to go to a Dracula movie where there wasn't...
David, vampires are very sexy.
Yeah. No, it was nice to go to a movie that was a Dracula movie through and through without, like, freaking nudity all over the place, like Bram Stoker's Dracula, and just... I don't know. Stop sexualizing Dracula, you freaking weirdos. Stop sexualizing monsters, you weirdos.
Yeah. But yeah. So what you're saying is it's worth a watch.
Yeah, well, I said it was worth a watch earlier.
Okay. I mean,
I was just happy to see that there wasn't, like, smut in it, you know? Like you said, support good movies. Like, it's just simple as that. Go see it. I know movie theaters are uncomfortable now. There's always some, like, fat guy in front of you snoring or farting.
I was sitting in front of you.
I don't know. Somebody's always doing something in movie theaters, or somebody's kids are going crazy, but... I mean, this is how, like, you send a message. Do we want Barbie 2, the Barbieing, or do we want the continuation of The Last Voyage of the Demeter? Like, the next chapter in the Dracula story. Like, that would be cool. I would pay money to see that. Hire Nicolas Cage to play Dracula. He did great.
He was fun. Alright.
Yeah, well, subscribe to us. Do it. Cowards, do it.
I'm not subscribed.